Good evening, everyone, and welcome into the HearSports podcast show. I'm Kyle Newman, your host.
And I'm Rhett Hensley, your co-host.
On this show, anything sports goes, whether professional, college, or even high school. Debate is highly likely, laughter is always encouraged, good times is a given, and hashtag great sports talk will be a reoccurring theme. Tonight, we will talk about the BarClay's tournament, the NBA offseason, the top 5 out of high school NBA players of all time, and RG3's future. Rhett Hensley, 14th HearSports podcast show. Good evening to you. How are you doing tonight?
Ooh, I'm like a box of kittens.
Him and the kittens, my goodness. Well, that's great to hear. You're awake at past 12 in the morning, past noon, midnight. I don't even know what time it is. Oh man, apparently you're more awake than I am. But that's always great because you're usually so tired at this point. But
I know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
how are you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing great, Rhett. I'm doing great. I guess I'm a little more tired than you are, but I'm hanging in there, and I'm just glad we can get this HearSports show in. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like this will be the new schedule where it is done not by 8 o'clock on Mondays, but after I'm getting off work later. Because of Rhett and I's schedules, we just have to try and fit it in that way. Hopefully Monday nights we'll be able to get it. Maybe it'll be Tuesdays. Whatever it is, we'll try and stick to it because we enjoy it. So bear with us, but we're doing great and ready to talk sports tonight. And there's a lot that's gone on in the past week. So we're going to kick it off, Rhett, with the BarClay's tournament. The first FedEx Cup playoffs tournament this past weekend. And it was a juicy one. What do you have to say?
By the way, the BarClay stock market went down 11 points. But now you can continue.
The fun fact of the day from Rhett. The stock market value of the BarClays went down. Did it explain? Can you imagine or give a prediction, Rhett? Why?
My prediction is that it went down because it just wanted to go down.
Is there nothing that stands out to you?
Nothing that stands out.
About why that may happen?
No.
Just out of curiosity, Rhett throws a random one in there. That's okay. I'm sure it'll go right back up. The man that won this tournament was a guy I was half tempted to put number 1 ahead of Jordan Spieth. I had him at 2 finishing this thing, but I should have stuck with my instinct and had him number 1 because he has been the hot man lately. Yes, Jason Day is your 2015 BarClays tournament champion, and he's not just the champion, Rhett. He ran away with this tournament much like Tiger Woods in the old days did. This man finished at 19 under. You thought that he couldn't make any more history after his 20 under at the PGA Championship, but he could. 19 under. He finished 6 strokes ahead of the second place Henrik Stenson. And third was Bubba Watson at 11 under. Bubba button-ups, like I predicted was going to have a good tournament, and he did. Nice top 5 finish for Bubba. Zach Blair tied for 4th, and then Zach Johnson tied for 4th at 10 under. Another man I predicted to have a good tournament, and he did. Some other notables, Rhett, on this leaderboard that were up there that played well. Dustin Johnson finished at 8 under. Top 10 finish for him, but that's kind of been the story for him this year. A top 10 finish, can't get it done closing it. And I'll admit, Rhett, I didn't get to see any of this tournament this past weekend because of work and everything. I tried to follow it as much as I could, but the highlights, it's just incredible, what this Jason Day did. Let's talk about that. Were you surprised?
The Jason Day one?
Yes, and the way he won.
Yes, I kind of thought, it was kind of unpredicted. I thought Jordan Spieth was going to win it, but apparently he decided to have his worst match in years.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
It's due, but Jason Day, I like to see that. That's pretty good. He shot 8 under on his final round. How incredible is that? What a heck of a finish. He just ran away with it. Just hands down, fantastic.
He did, and Rhett, I'm a little surprised that you're surprised that he won the way he's been playing lately. I mean, this guy, not only coming off of that impressive PGA Championship finish, but he's had so many top 5 finishes this year where he's been this close. And what's so impressive to me about it is he's overcome a lot. Suffered vertigo twice, had the tweaking of the back the day before in the Pro-Am. This past Wednesday, it's amazing to me how this man keeps overcoming these obstacles, and this is the type of golfer I like to cheer for. Someone who is a genuinely good guy, always has a smile on his face, and yet he works so hard, and he has that great story attached to his career and the type of golfer he is, the way he carries himself, his character on and off the course.
I like that. I like that.
So,
but yeah, I was a little surprised. I can't lie. I thought Spieth was going to take care of business at this tournament. And honestly, I thought Rory was golfing in this one. Didn't see anything about that. I was actually golfing the day of, it was golfing Thursday. And I was sitting there, well, where the heck is Rory? Can't find him on the leaderboard. So I ended up checking the news, and it said Rory decided not to play.
Yeah, pretty big.
See you next week.
Yeah, a little bit surprised. I don't. Did you get to? Because I wasn't necessarily aware of that either. Did you get to catch why he didn't play? He was just
one to rest. He was just one to rest. So for the second tournament, I don't think it really affected him. On the standings really too much. So,
well, the PGA Championship, that tells me that had a little bit of a toll on his body after coming back for his first tournament, that he wasn't able to play in this one. Encouraging that he'll get to play in the Deutsche Bank Championship this weekend, which we'll talk about here. But really, Red, this is Day's 3rd win in 4 starts, and he the way he runs away with it is what's impressive to me, but he's so consistent. He literally is reminding me of Tiger Woods in the past. And I'm wondering what's going on with Jordan Spieth, because he was both of our predictions for the winner of this tournament. He's played so well 2 majors this year. The last 2 majors he's played well in. But this was not the Jordan Spieth of 2015. This looked like the Jordan Spieth at the start of his career. What do you think was wrong with him in this tournament?
Oh, I think it was due. It was long. It was due. He had to have a bad match. Everybody has that time, but it was kind of unfortunate. You thought you were going to see him play pretty decent Friday, probably shoot 4 under, and come back at even. But that was not the case, unfortunately. And, I think that he's going to have a good bounce back next week, and we'll see him up there on the leaderboard pretty high up.
Yeah, actually this week, as this tournament starts Thursday, the second FedEx Cup playoff tournament, we'll get to a prediction here in a second about that, of who we like in it. But the thing is, Rhett, Jordan Spieth, yeah, I agree with you. You can't be on top forever. We've seen it with Tiger Woods, all the greats. I mean, you can't play perfect all the time, and you can't win always. That's not the reality in sports.
But me today,
he gave it a good run, and not that the run isn't over, because he's so young, obviously, and talented, but he did not look the same. He was not hitting fairways. His short game was rough. The man didn't make the cut going into the final day. I mean, that's not been Jordan Spieth like, to not even make the cut. So I'm gonna be honest here. This gives me a bit of concern. Is it's gonna be changing my predictions here throughout the FedEx Cup with him. And I'll have you know, as I mentioned last week with the FedEx Cup playoffs and how the points quadruple and how it can change like that. Guess who just passed Jordan Spieth on the FedEx Cup standings?
Rory McIlroy?
No. That's
he took over the number 1 spot in the world.
No, I'm talking the FedEx Cup standings. Yes. Jason Day is now your number 1 leader for the FedEx Cup thanks to this win. He, going in last week, was second. Jordan Spieth was almost 2,000 points ahead of him. And because of this win, Jason Day now has 4,459 points in first place, and Jordan Spieth has 4,169. So about 300 points ahead of him is Jason Day. Both have 4 wins this year. Rhett, just like that, it changed. That's how he did it. And Bubba in third, thanks to his great finish. Henrik Stenson now at number 4, followed by Zach Johnson at 5 and Dustin Johnson at 6. These things it can move like crazy.
Don't worry about Dustin Johnson, people.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Rhett's a real Dustin Johnson hater lately. That's incredible, Rhett, that it can swing that much. But that's what happens, and that's why I love these FedEx Cup playoffs. It's fair. The points, they do it brilliantly. They give everybody the best chance. And that's what I was saying about Jordan Spieth. He had to go into this tournament playing his golf. He could not have a setback. What he had, Rhett, was a setback, and that's why my prediction is going to change. I've seen it too many times with golfers where it's not just a one-tournament slump.
But if it was Tiger Woods, he'd be coming back and winning this whole thing.
Yeah, Tiger Woods, he's an exception, all right? The thing is, right,
Tiger Woods could shoot 20 over, and he's going to come back and shoot 20 under.
Well, I believe in the man, all right? I believe in the man. Let's just say that. But a guy, one area where our prediction didn't come true for me was Mr. Phil. Phil Mickelson has been one inconsistent player this year on tour. This man finished at 1 over, Rhett, in this tournament, so tied for 50th. He's been a teeter-totter. What do you think of Phil here? Again, which Phil are we going to see?
I believe he did not have a great start at the beginning of Thursday.
That's been his issue, hasn't it?
Yeah, his starts. But, you said it all, Kyle. He's been inconsistent this year. It's kind of expected. Like to see him play well, but from his upcoming this year, it's kind of expected. Who knows? I think that he might play pretty decent this coming week. He does have a trend to do that. Once he plays pretty bad plays pretty bad at the start of one week, he comes back and plays pretty decent the next week, from what I have noticed. So I think that he might have a nice little run in him this coming week.
Is that what you think?
I do. I do.
Well, that's good. You're finally on the Phil train. You're on the Phil train. I like it, Rhett. Me too. So we'll talk about that here. One more player I want to mention, a guy who, in my top 5 favorite golfers, Mr. Flat Bills, fine dress himself, Ricky Fowler, was also a no-show in this one, like a Jordan Spieth. He didn't make the cut either, Rhett. Ricky Fowler is continuing his inconsistency.
Yeah. That's been the story of the year, Kyle. I think that he's not going to impress me with anything until he actually comes up and prevails. We've seen him a few times this year take a couple shots at winning, but
That's kind of been the story of his career.
Yeah, and I believe that he's won a couple
of PGA Tour events.
Yeah, tour events this year. But other than that, he's hung around a little bit first couple days of the majors, but he falls off.
He does, much like a Dustin Johnson. So I hope he can get over the hump because he's young still and very talented. So we will see. Well, Rhett, let's predict then the second playoff tournament this weekend, the Deutsche Bank Championship, TPC Boston in Norton, Massachusetts. Who you like?
Roy.
Oh, please.
Roy.
See, he gets on me about Tiger Woods, and now he's on his favorite Rory McIlroy train now. He's jumping trains, Rhett.
Spieth is going to have another great... He's going to come back, I think, this week. So I think it's going to be between those two, and I'm going to put Jason Day right behind him.
He's disrespectful. I can't believe he doesn't see this with the hot man.
I think it'd be very hard to do that, shoot that high or shoot that low again. I think it's going to be a very close tournament.
It will be a close tournament.
I will give him props if he shoots 19 under again.
Well, I would hope so.
Props.
Well, guess what?
Yeah, I do like Jason Day, by the way. I love how he holds himself. It's very impressive, Kyle. I don't disrespect this man. I like this man.
That's good. That's good to hear. Let me tell you something.
I think something's going to change next week, Kyle. I got a feeling.
I disagree with your prediction. Rhett, Jason Day is going to win the second straight event, his third straight tournament, and he's going to further himself in the FedEx Cup standings with a win. Now, I will agree with you from the aspect he won't run away with this tournament. He will not shoot another 19 under. It will be lower scoring. It'll be a closer tournament, but he is the hot man, and I have to go with him. Much like I've been riding the Jordan Spieth train. I'm not anymore this year, Rhett. Jordan Spieth, it concerns me that he fell off in this tournament. A man doesn't play so hot like that and play that bad out of nowhere. He has been the type of like Tiger Woods of the old days. I keep referencing that, where you expect him to be up there every single tournament. And the fact that he didn't even make the cut is a concern to me. I think it's mental. I think it's getting into his head that Jason Day is playing so hot right now, and some of these other players out there that are up there. But I think it's mainly Jason Day. I think it's taking a toll how close he was in the last two majors and couldn't get it done. I think he got caught up in making history. And I, as much as I like Jordan Spieth, I do not think he will make the cut, but I am not even putting Jordan Spieth in the top 5 to finish in this tournament.
Wow, how disrespectful is that?
It's not happening. I'll maybe give him a top 10 finish, but I don't see him finishing in the top 5. I do not agree with your Rory McIlroy prediction. Boy, that's thrown out there, isn't it, folks? No, that's not how I expect guys like Bubba to play well again. Ricky Fowler will bounce back, and my main man Phil Mickelson will bounce back and play well in this tournament out east again.
Fowler,
he will do it.
Fowler has no chance.
That's what I see, Rhett. And guess what? We will get to talk about the results of the Deutsche Bank Championship next week on our show. Well,
I'll be right, people. Don't worry.
Yeah, let's see. So Rhett's got Rory McIlroy, his man, winning that tournament. I've got Jason Day. $50? All right, no, things will get interesting. You throw some other variables and external factors in there, Rhett. So that's what we have there with golf. We always will talk golf because we love it, Rhett, and we will play it together again soon. And
yes, we will, sir.
Hopefully can have a change of tides with me getting back on top again, because
won't happen.
I can't allow a streak, ladies and gentlemen. It cannot happen. All right? Kyle's game is back. This is going to be good. But Rhett,
Better than ever.
I got to give Rhett some props here because if any man's game is back, it is Rhett. Would you like to share with the listeners, Rhett, what you just shot playing golf today?
Well, I shot a 92, people. That's the best yet for me. I will take that.
That is
any day of the week.
Yes, that is very impressive, Rhett. That's a little above average there, and let's see if he can bring that to the courses here around Bowling Green when we play. Let's see. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, it's like Rhett telling me that he dunked on a person today. Until I see this man dunk a basketball in front of me, it will not happen. I'll believe it when I see it, Rhett. It's a good story.
All right, we can go on that, but when you have witnesses around, hey, respect that. Respect that.
I will respect it when I'm the witness to this down
right,
here,
Kyle.
Rhett. And
I respect that.
That's great. That's great. And this is a perfect transition because we're talking basketball now. We get to transition into a tradition that you've been keeping alive this summer, Rhett. That's NBA offseason news. So why don't you kick it off? What's going on in the last week as far as NBA offseason news?
All right. Well, one thing that has happened this offseason is the Lakers have finally signed Ron Artest, or a.k.a. Meta World Peace.
Oh, a.k.a. should have never played in a Pacers uniform.
Exactly.
Oh, did I just say that?
Doi. And then, one big thing there's nothing that's really happened around the off season so far this week, in the past week. But one thing is they have come out and say that the Cavs are a shoo-in to win the East. I beg to differ.
A shoo-in.
I beg to differ. If we're talking about conference finals, Pacers are going to prevail, baby. Pacers,
I love the faith, Red. I love the faith with the
Pacers going to prevail. They might finish first, but they ain't going to make it past the conference finals. What can I say? Will
this be the year finally Paul George helps us get over the hump against LeBron, the rival? Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great? Well, I've got a couple things here.
I got one more.
All right, throw it out at me.
I got one more. Russell Westbrook gets married.
I saw that today on Twitter.
Yes.
And he didn't wear his unusual wear.
All right, take the words right out of my mouth.
I got you. He didn't wear his colorful clothing.
He should have. I like it. He looks weird.
Should have come out with the Dumb and Dumber suit. A nice orange one or a blue one.
That would have been great.
It would have been phenomenal. But yes, he did. Good for him, Russell Westbrook. But I got a couple here. All right, today, the Clippers, it's one of those signings where it's a good signing, and you wonder how these teams can just manage to afford to get these players. Now, I don't have numbers. I'm sure it wasn't a whole lot, but it just amazes me that the stacked teams get players continually. The Clippers signed forward/center Chuck Hayes. Okay, Chuck Hayes has been a pretty good contributor for teams in the NBA. The veteran that he is, and that just happened today, Rhett, for the Clippers, a team that is already loaded, and so now they're trying to add some more depth, and you just kind of wonder, wow, I don't know, but he's a 10-year NBA veteran. He's had 244 starts. Bounced around a little. Houston, Sacramento, and Toronto. He's averaged about 4 points a game, 5 rebounds, and assist. He spent the last 2 years with the Raptors where he averaged a couple points in 29 appearances. So not, impressive, but a guy coming off the bench who may contribute. So the Clippers just adding more depth. Probably was for $1 million or so, but that's kind of stood out to me a little bit. Aside from that, though, Rhett,
Ooh.
What else has been going on? That's not it.
Floyd Mayweather plays basketball with Isaiah Thomas.
I did see that too and got schooled.
Floyd Mayweather is actually better than you'd think. Floyd Mayweather won 2 games. Isaiah won 3.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive against a NBA player.
It's not bad.
You just hate Floyd Mayweather.
I don't hate him. You
strongly dislike him.
I don't care for him. The way that he carries himself. I don't care for it. I just don't. I respect the champion that he is, but I do not care. And, okay, a little off topic. We'll get back to the NBA offseason news. But as Rhett brings up the boxing, it just reminds me of all of the shots that him and Ronda Rousey have been taking at each other. You've been following that, Rhett, because it's getting.
Oh yeah. Talk to me when you're able to finish a Dr. Seuss book. Now that was pretty funny.
And did you see what he fired back at her about?
No.
Okay. Well, then that's why I bring this up. Let me find it. I wasn't prepared to mention this, but he said, I got to get the direct quote because that makes it better. It was, and I was following it on Twitter. Let's see. Now she did say. She did basically say that she would beat him in an MMA style, gloves are off, pal, referees out type of a fight. But okay. So I finally have found it. Floyd Mayweather called her out and said, "Call me when you can make over $300 million in 36 minutes." Is what he said to her. All right? He said, "I've yet to see any MMA fighter or other boxer make over $300 million in 36 minutes. When she can do that, then call me." There's more here. It gets broken down a little more, and Rhett loves this stuff. He said, "A while back, I didn't know who Ronda Rousey was, so I'm pretty sure she got upset. I want to say congratulations to Ronda Rousey in the UFC. You guys have done a tremendous job." This is him covering. This is Floyd Mayweather covering. "You guys have done a tremendous job, and I've won probably 6 or 7 ESPYs for Fighter of the Year, and I truly believe she deserves it. Congratulations to Ronda Rousey." Baloney. Then Rousey says after defeating him, because Ronda Rousey at the ESPYs in July,
took a shot at him.
She defeated Mayweather in the Fighter of the Year category, and she said, "I wonder how Floyd feels being beaten by a woman for once." That's what she said. Rousey said that she waited a whole year before slamming Mayweather because she felt like he disrespected her in 2014 by saying he didn't know who she was. That's where it was. But she said, this is a quote, "I know for damn sure that he knew who I was because he was running against me for best fighter that year, and he assigned MMA fighters." She said that at the media day in Los Angeles. So his feigned ignorance was meant to be a snarky remark to me. So he said that to her, but I'm still waiting. She fired back at him again with that. And Rhett did mention what she had said about the Dr. Seuss book. The war of words, Rhett, is continuing between these two fighters, and I'm curious, what do you think about it?
Oh, so has he not replied to the Dr. Seuss book?
I think he did. I think he did. But I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find what it said, but it's pretty impressive.
I love it.
But it was
love it.
Yeah, it was
talking about somebody that would bring ratings is that fight right there. that fight would bring some gnarly ratings.
It would. So what do you think about it though? Like what's your take on it, Rhett?
I think that Mayweather would probably destroy her, but
In what type of a fight?
MMA or boxing. But I do love me some Ronda Rousey, so I got to put some faith in her. She'll last a couple of rounds, and it will go down in history as, a woman taking on Floyd Mayweather and giving him a run for his money.
Okay, let me just say that I agree with you what you said about how great it would be for sports, but I disagree with you. She would get dominated in a boxing fight. It would not even be close. But she would beat him in an MMA fight because that is her bread and butter. That is her technique, and she would have so much rage built up.
The thing is,
she would take him down to the ground, Red.
The thing is,
and not allow him to box.
She's got to get her hands on him. The difference in
she would tackle
reach. The difference in reach from them. Floyd Mayweather is like he moves around in that ring like an ice skating rink. He is just flows with it. He's got great footwork. I don't see her taking him down like that, and that's the issue.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Rhett, it wouldn't be the quick hands thing because she would bring him down. She would tackle him. She would keep him pinned on the ground because that's her bread and butter. Floyd Mayweather's not a big guy, so she would size up with him pretty well. And when it would be her bread and butter with the mixed martial arts, she would beat him, and I'm going on record with that. I believe that. So I believe her confidence, and I like that confidence. But
he would never fight her.
If it were to be a boxing match, it wouldn't even be a question, and that's why she puts it in the context of the fight she believes she could beat him in, the type of style. So she's understandable about that. But here's what she fired. I finally found it. Not at the Dr. Seuss book. That was what she basically said. She was when he learns to read and write, he can text me. What were the lines, and then he had fired back saying the money. That was his response.
The Dr. Seuss book was after the fact. He said he was responding to a different thing when he said to make more money. She said that actually a couple of days after that. So I guess he has not responded yet.
So when he said about the $300 million in 36 minutes, when she can do that and call me, they caught up with Ronda Rousey. And she said that you make $300 million a night, then you can give me a call. And I actually did the math, and given the numbers of my last fight, I'm actually the highest paid UFC fighter, and I'm a woman, she said. This is what she said. It's when you compare the two careers and their money, it doesn't even come close. Floyd Mayweather's earnings compared to her, I mean, that's kind of a joke, but it's different. It's a different sport, and it's women and men and audience and views and pay-per-view with Floyd Mayweather and the whole HBO. I mean, there's so much extracurricular money. But she said, I think I actually make 2 to 3 times more than he does per second. So when he learns to read and write, he can text me. That was her latest response. That was 5 days ago. So we'll see what Floyd Mayweather has to say back to that, Rhett. But, yeah, I was curious if you had heard about that, because I thought about that. It was several days ago that I saw that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I'd love to see that fight, but I highly doubt it's ever going to happen.
Well,
he would not take the chance to ruin his career by fighting somebody that would probably ruin his career if he lost.
Yeah, just like he won't rematch Manny Pacquiao either. I want to get that first loss to you, Floyd Mayweather. That's That is it, and he's prepared to finish his last fight of his career, and an impressive career it's been. To go out in your career, assuming he wins this next one without losing, that's right up there as one of the greatest athletes of all time in all of professional sports. That's impressive.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Rhett, what do you have here? The off-season moves. What else do you have within the last couple weeks? There were a couple that I saw that I'm trying to find again here that we didn't mention last week. I'm getting back to it here. I'm getting back to it. First of all, here's one. Happened today. I found my spot. Vlade Divac was named Vice President of Basketball Operations and General Manager of the Sacramento Kings. Now I'm hearing talk and reading, is this what the Kings need to turn their organization around? Cousins back, the couple nice moves they've made here in the offseason, young players drafted. Will the Sacramento Kings be better? Rhett, that is, I've been hearing that. What do you think?
I don't think any team's going to be good when they have Rudy Gay on the team.
You're not a fan of him.
I'm not a fan of Rudy Gay. It's kind of like Carmelo Anthony thing. You're not going to win a championship with either of them on the team, in my own opinion. But, I mean, you got Cousins there. Get rid of Rudy Gay and build around Cousins. Perfect idea for you. And that piece of advice is for free.
Well, one thing about Rudy Gay is I don't necessarily care for him as a basketball player either, but he's had a solid career. He's a veteran who is a productive veteran.
Carmelo.
Who can score, exactly. So he's a benefit to the team, but having him with the DeMarcus Cousins, I don't know. I think he needs to stay healthy, and I think him and DeMarcus Cousins and some of these other players need to find a way to gel together, because Rudy Gay can have a tendency, like Carmelo, to be selfish and take every single shot. But it's clear that DeMarcus Cousins is the man in Sacramento, so he too will want to be selfish with that basketball and lead that team. So just kind of have to see how it plays out. But 11 days ago, I don't know if we ever mentioned this, but the Timberwolves signed Tayshaun Prince, the NBA champion that he is, the veteran. What do you think about that signing for them? Team that's already improving. It's interesting. I think that he's getting older. He's getting older, obviously. What's he averaging, like 5 points a game or so? I'm not sure what his average is.
He's a lengthy guy. That's like a good thing. Yeah,
I always called you him.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say that. But he's probably going to help out the team. It's good to have that veteran presence there to help out the younger players, and that's what the Timberwolves need right now. So, it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think he will help them. For sure. Good signing for them. And then another one, I don't know if it was mentioned. I want to say I maybe did, but last one. The Hawks signed Jason Richardson, the veteran. I'll tell you what, I think this is a good signing for him. Guy who's getting older and declining with his productivity, but I like Jason Richardson. He's had a solid NBA career, still talented player, very athletic, Rhett. I think this is a good signing for Atlanta. A team who, like I said, they're not going to be as good as they were last year. I think they're going to prove that they were maybe a little overrated. It was a little out of the blue. But I still think they're going to finish maybe fourth in the East. So, Rhett, I think this helps them. What about you?
Would you repeat that, please?
Jason Richardson being signed by the Hawks.
He is an old fart. Talking about a guy that's been around for a long time.
The old farts can still get it done, Rhett.
They can. I mean, what are we talking about here? Jason Terry, Andre Miller. But
there's plenty of them.
Oh yeah, ton. But it's gonna be interesting. I don't really know how. I think last time I checked his stats, he was only averaging like a little over 2 points a game. But it's that veteran presence.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Was I wrong on that?
No. I quite honestly, Jason Richardson. I'd have to look up what his, which I'll get his stats here real quick as we transition, Rhett, into our third segment here, and that is something you came up with a little off the grid because we like to talk high school as well, throw a little high school aspect, and it's not necessarily the traditional being high school players currently.
He scored 9 points a game.
Yeah, I was about to get there, so I had a feeling you were wrong. The man is still a productive player. So
I wonder what I was looking at.
I have no idea. So I think he is definitely going to be helping the Atlanta Hawks. It's no question.
But you also got to think that this Philadelphia team, they were just as bad as the New York Knicks, and they had people that, came up from the D-League scoring like 9 points a game. So,
well, he's not playing against his teammates. He's playing against the opponents. And in this league's a toughie.
He plays a lot more.
So he is going to be just fine, and he will help the Hawks out. That's my prediction. That's about all we have, though, for NBA offseason news. What? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What'd you have there?
I think that the difference between that and what I mean is between Philadelphia and going to the Hawks is he's not going to play as much.
Sure. That's a good point. He'll come off the bench.
Yeah,
see what he can do.
That's kind of what I was going with when I was talking about Philly. They didn't have anybody that was really there to support the team.
I feel you.
Hawks do.
I feel you.
Good.
I definitely do. I feel you. And I don't know if I'm going to feel you after we talk about our top 5 out of high school NBA players of all time, right? Because I have a feeling you might be a little disrespectful. And then we might have some disparity.
I already know what I'm going to be disrespectful on, and I don't even care.
We have a little bit of disparity, I'm sure, okay? But nonetheless, we are going to start it off with our number 5s, right, and see where we're at. So give me your number 5. Hit me with some knowledge and tell me why.
This is a guy that I came to actually after watching his documentary from me not even liking this fella
boy.
To actually liking him. It's a guy that, got taken over by the media and really just got a bad rep because of that when he didn't even deserve it. He's a great guy. But
There's a lot of guys like that, Rhett.
From what Don't interrupt. It's my time to shine. It's my time to shine.
Go ahead.
All right. And I'm talking about Dwight Howard here. The man came right out of high school. His first year in the NBA, scoring 12 points, averaging almost 2 blocks a game, 10 rebounds a game. Had, his best free throw percentage at 67%.
Yeah, that's
he played
great.
32 minutes, and he played every game. So, what a great start. And, they didn't make the playoffs that season, but hey, they had great potential for that upcoming years.
Rhett, that's so disrespectful. I can't even wrap my head around how disrespectful it is to put Dwight Howard in the top 5 out of high school NBA players of all time. Okay? This man, though I agree with you about the things you said about him and what he is, the type of guy he is off the court, genuinely.
You're going to hate more after the next one.
But I can't believe that you're going to, with the guys that are on the list of out of high school straight to the NBA, he does not deserve to be in the top 5. He doesn't. Statistic-wise, the man doesn't have championships. It's not.
Ooh, but championships don't matter.
Not completely. he doesn't deserve it, Rhett. He does not deserve it. I think Dwight Howard's actually a little overrated. He doesn't deserve to be put in the top 5 out of the NBA, out of high school players of all time, Rhett. It just doesn't make sense
Overrated?
to me. He's still too young.
Man, if you say what I think you're going to say.
How can you put it in there? How can you put him in there, man? I just don't get it. Dwight Howard? Still so young? I just... That's what we're dealing with tonight, folks. Him putting Dwight Howard at number 5. My number 5, Rhett. A veteran that deserved to be
if you say this.
A man who absolutely, when you think of top 5 out of high school players, you think of the man who signed the big Adidas contract, and that is Tracy McGrady. T-Mac. That's right. Tracy McGrady deserves to be in the top 5. When I think of best out of high school players, I think of Tracy McGrady. Much like a Kobe Bryant, came into the NBA and excelled early, okay? And it's not, to me, all about how do you do your first year. Let's keep in mind they're coming out of high school, okay? But he improved every single year, and I love that, Rhett. A guy in his career that averaged almost 20 points per game. He had peaks with the Orlando Magic where he averaged 32 points per game and 28 points per game. MVP-like numbers. The man is known for that great comeback against...
I mean, they almost have the same stat line, though.
But it's not. And he's not Dwight Howard, okay? He's Tracy McGrady. And Tracy McGrady...
Stats are better.
Tracy McGrady, different positions. This man deserves to be in there. Had like 7 years straight of 20-plus points where he averaged in a league where it was dominated by shooting guards. A couple that are going to be in the rest of our top 5 out of high school. Always will remember him on the Magic and the Rockets.
Kyle?
Yes, Rhett.
I can't agree with you on this, Kyle. I was very close to putting him as my 5. But
it's disrespectful.
I see numbers here. I see numbers, and Tracy McGrady was one of my favorite basketball players when I was younger.
And and the disrespect to not put him in there, I can't believe.
But I think that it was a teeter-totter there. But I actually thought you were going to be very, very disrespectful on that one, and I'm still waiting for you to be very disrespectful.
Rhett, you're not going to see me be disrespectful, all right?
Pretty sure.
It doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. But it's, to me, yeah, it's no question. Yeah, Tracy McGrady, number 5. Rhett, who's your number 4?
My number 4.
Here comes the disrespect. When he starts laughing.
Kevin Garnett.
Wow.
He's good. What can I say? The man, when he came out of high school, the guy was just fantastic. Don't like the guy. And for, even when he started, like you said, Kyle, he only had 10 points, but he got better every single season after that. And the guy just played fantastic. From Minnesota to Boston, and then once he hit, Brooklyn, that's when his career started to decline, very much. But he's a champion, and he's the only player in NBA history to reach 25,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 5,000 assists, 1,500 steals, 1,500 blocks in his career. Only player to average in NBA history 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists per game for 6 consecutive seasons. I would go on to the next one, but I'm probably taking too long. So,
Rhett, I say that because I thought we were going to have more disparity. I gave the respect to the man
No, I didn't want to either. I didn't want to, but I had
Kevin
to.
Garnett is number 4, and he deserves to be in the top 5 because he is another player that I think of top 5 greatest out of high school players, Kevin Garnett. In fact, I had a Kevin Garnett jersey from the Timberwolves.
Shake my head.
From the Timberwolves, I liked Kevin Garnett, and he was loyal to the Timberwolves for a while. He had an edge to him. I liked Kevin Garnett when he played for Minnesota during his career, and I loved those jerseys. But he deserves to be. You already mentioned plenty. I don't really have to say anything else. He was an NBA champion. He averaged 18 points in his career, 20.5 points in 13 years with the Timberwolves, and countless other statistics and things that you've mentioned made an impact definitely in the top 5. I can't believe we both had him at number 4, but this goes to show you just when we think we're going to have more disparity, we don't. Kevin Garnett, number 4. Rhett, who is your number 3?
All right.
Now the disrespect comes out. When he smiles, that means that there's disrespect.
Oh, gosh. Well, I wouldn't really say it, disrespect. I was just going to put Moses Malone. 19 seasons in the NBA. So, the guy was a hooper. 6'10", 250 pounds, 15 pounds. I kind of slurred my words there. MVP 3 times. NBA All-Star Team 12 times. Where championships,
he never
won.
He
won once.
Won one.
1983. He's impressive. He finished with 29,580 points. Points per game, 20.6. That is impressive. Rebounds, 12.2 rebounds per game. In my opinion, that is pretty freaking impressive.
Oh, it is. You know what? Just when we think there's disparity, we're on the same page. We know basketball. I guess that's what that means. Moses Malone is my number 3 as well, and he deserves it. In a lot of people's minds, he is the greatest center of all time. Moses Malone was a true champion himself, and he won one and probably deserved to win more the way he played. He averaged in his career, you want to talk about a center and setting an example for who should lead, for what a center should do, rebounding and leading that way. This man averaged 12 rebounds throughout his career. He averaged 20 and 12.
Take notes, Kobe.
Yeah.
Take notes.
Kobe.
I was thinking of the Lakers. Hibbert.
Yes. 20 and 12 throughout his career. It's amazing to me. And he had a long career. His nickname was the Chairman of Boards. Chairman of the Boards. Moses Malone. Yes. I mean, nothing else needs to be said. This man deserves to be in the top 5 straight out of high school players.
Straight out of Compton.
The Hall of Famer that he is, Moses Malone. Number 3, we're in agreement, Rhett. So that means, are we going to be in agreement with these top 2? I have a feeling. I don't think we're going to like number 2, but I think we're going to be in agreement because if you have any sense of basketball knowledge, then you have to give respect. Respect's due. So, Rhett, we both have LeBron James at number 2, don't we? And Rhett smiles in silence, so he was disrespectful.
I'm kidding. Now, if this was LeBron's career at the age of Kobe right now, I think that maybe we could be talking a little different. Closer in the range of that.
We can't because
closer
he's not
in the range
winning
of that.
another championship.
I hope not. But with the basketball teams that he keeps getting put on, there's a great chance he's going to get another ring at some point. But yeah, I mean, LeBron, first season in the NBA, played 79 games, averaged 20.9 points per game. A steal and a half a game, almost 6 assists a game, 5.5 rebounds a game, shot 74% from the free throw line, shot 29% at 3-point range. All right, so the man, he is a two-time NBA champion, two-time NBA Finals MVP, four-time NBA Most Valuable Player, 11 All-Star. Wow, I about said that backwards. NBA All-Star. The man is just incredible. Don't like the man, but you gotta respect the man.
Yes, you do, because again, and that's why I have him at number 2 too. When you think of best players, Rhett makes it funny. Pun intended, always. They're always intended. The thing is, when you think of the greatest high school players that jumped right to the NBA of all time, LeBron James, the man that's still playing and will be a Hall of Famer, deserves to be at number 2. A lot of people may actually switch him with the number 1, but that would be just disrespectful in my mind. LeBron deserves it. I don't have to talk any more stats because Rhett just ran over them with him, but LeBron James, he was a freak coming out of high school. I mean, you knew the man was going right to the NBA. Who wouldn't when you look like that when he did and dominated like he did?
What are you saying, he's pretty?
No. Not at all.
I think that's what you just implied, Kyle.
I think that's what you're thinking I implied. So maybe you're implying that.
All right, moving on.
Got him! All right. So here's the thing. LeBron James, he deserves the respect. He is the second greatest player to come out of the NBA, to come out of high school into the NBA of all time. He won't become number 1, though, in my mind, ever. So don't be disrespectful, Rhett, and throw that out there as an option.
But you gotta say
number 1 is going to stay number 1, all right? And that's what we're getting to now. Kobe Bean Bryant.
Wow.
He's doing work.
Thought you were supposed to ask me.
No.
Maybe we didn't have the same.
No. I'm switching it up, Red, all right? I can't take you throwing asinine things out there like LeBron James is going to pass him.
I said possibly.
Yeah, it's not possible. Kobe Bryant, the 5-time NBA champion that he is, coming out of high school and immediately making an impact. Rhett, hit me with the stats for Kobe Bryant, please.
All right, you want the first season?
Yeah, I'd like it.
All right.
I'd like everything you can throw at me.
All right. He averaged 7.6 points a game,
Good enough.
1.3 assists a game, 1.9 rebounds a game, free throw percentage 81%,
Solid.
career 25.4 points a game,
Thank you.
1.5 steals a game, 4.8 assists a game, 5.3 rebounds a game. Now let's just go down the other list. Kobe Bryant, 5-time NBA champ. Three-peated. LeBron, you cannot do that. 2-time NBA Finals MVP. 1-time NBA Most Valuable Player. 17-time NBA All-Star. 4-time NBA All-Star Game MVP. Not that really matters, but 11-time All-NBA First Team. The man is just an animal.
He is top 5 greatest player of all time in my mind. So he's in no question going to be number 1 for the greatest high school players, jumping right to the NBA. Those stats speak for itself. He's a champion. He's great. There's Kobe haters out there, Rhett. They're going to be frustrated right now. If we got a poll going here, it may go 50-50, and they'll be like, you're crazy. Right? It's the same talk that comes up with the Michael Jordan and Kobe. But you know what? That's why all 3 get thrown in there. They're all great players, but Kobe Bryant deserves to be number 1 here in this category. I'd be curious to see what other people would think about this. We're going to try and get a little Twitter thing going, a little more interaction. We're going to try and be able to talk to some feedback we get on Twitter on this show. We want it, folks. But, Rhett, just like that, our top 5, we didn't have as much disparity as I thought we were going to.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty similar.
That? It seems like that happens a lot. It seems
great
like
minds think alike.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Great sports minds, at least. All right. So, as we transition into this last segment...
What was that supposed to mean?
It means nothing, Rhett. I love you, buddy. All right. The final segment here, Rhett. We get to go to all the sports today. The NFL. And this is a topic, Rhett, that I got inspired to talk about because it was debated on First Take. So... I've got to do a little debate with you. If there wasn't disrespect before, there's going to be disrespect now. Mark my word, folks. But we're going to talk about it. Robert Griffin III, Rhett. Is his career, is his future in jeopardy? What does it look like? Is RG3 done? He got injured in the second preseason game about 10 days ago against the Detroit Lions, their home opener. He was going for a fumble, and he got a concussion. And he's been going through that, and it's not passed, Rhett. It didn't look good. You could tell he was wobbly and all. He cannot stay healthy. It's my concern with him. So the question is, I'm going to ask you first, is RG3 done? And why?
Is RG3 done, and why? In my opinion, I think there's hope left in him. I think that there's some hope. He's got... he's been out. I wouldn't let this little concussion take over. I think he's got some left in the tank, Kyle. That's just plain and simple. Don't count the man out yet. Even though he's our arch nemesis, I still got. You never like to see a man go down, but I still think that he's going to compete at a high level. It's going to be a Derrick Rose thing, and if anybody knows from last year, Derrick Rose came back with some vengeance.
Yeah. I don't know, Rhett. Here's the thing. I'm a little surprised with your answer. I thought we were going to have a little more disagreement. But you know what? I'm going to be a lot stronger in my opinion and stance than you are. So I'm going to say that Robert Griffin III, his career is not done. Okay? In fact, this man's going to lead this Redskins team back to the promised land. All right?
Oh, man, I'm going to hit you.
Robert Griffin III is fine. Now, he's not fine right now. Okay, he's got a concussion. So when the man gets cleared, I believe in him. He has all the talent. He's young. It's just his fourth year in the league, okay? Has he been struggling? The injury's been an issue, yes. Have people been wondering, where's that great rookie season going? When's that going to come back? I don't know. But I will say this, Rhett. This is where my preference comes with. I say lead the Redskins back, but his future, where he looks like the old Robert the Griffin, may not be with the Redskins. I just believe that he'll stay loyal to the team or whatever. But there's the talk that's coming out here now with what's happened. Because of this injury, the Redskins and Coach Jay Gruden have named Kirk Cousins the starter on Monday. And that has fueled speculation over Griffin's future with Washington. All right? So he says, and then he goes on to say there's no guarantee that he'll start that he'll be the backup over Colt McCoy. So, this could
Colt
really,
McCoy, he's a good quarterback.
This could be a situation where, could this be the end for him in Washington, but can he still have a future in the NFL and be productive for a team? And so these trade options that have come up, like apparently no team wants them. It's been there, but Gruden, the coach, they back him and all, but it would hurt the team. If they were to release Griffin, it would count $6.7 million on their salary cap that they'd have to pay. Now, they could trade him, but that could be difficult. One, because no one's interested in him right now. Two, because they picked up $16.12 million option for 2016 on his contract, so that makes it difficult. But RG3 could have a say in it if he wanted to renegotiate the option to help a trade. So it could happen, Rhett. But the thing is, he says, I have nothing against RG3. He likes Robert as a quarterback. There's no doubt about it. He said his future is with the Washington Redskins. I'd like to believe that. He's also denied that the Redskins have considered ending Griffin's tenure. So I really just don't know fully what to expect going forward. Just the number one priority is that he gets healthy, obviously, is the first thing. But I think he can still lead this Redskins team to a run. I think that he has that talent still in him, like he showed his rookie year and throughout his career at Baylor. But having said that, I'm concerned with his style of play. In order for him to be the effective quarterback that he is, that he has been in the past, in order for him to be that productive, Robert Griffin III has to change the way that he plays football in the NFL. Meaning he needs to change the way that he runs the football, because he's a mobile quarterback. He can stand in the pocket, but it's been declining over the years. And he's just got to take a page out of Mr. Andrew Luck's book, and he needs to learn when to get down and slide and get out of bounds and stop taking these big hits, because that's what's ultimately been hurting Griffin. And, if that continues, then he won't have a future, because he will not stay healthy, and it'll be a sad story of the RG3, what could have been. And so I hope that doesn't happen, but he needs to change his style. These concussions, the knee injuries, they're going to keep having a higher probability if he keeps running the football the way he does, taking the hits that he does. He's got to be smarter with that. Aside from that, though, I think he will be just fine. I think he will be able to lead the Redskins back, like I said, to the promised land, whatever that may be for them, getting to the playoffs, beating the tough Cowboys and Eagles in that division, and even the Giants. So a lot of goals to set. I hope that he can get a shot this year. I hope that, Kirk Cousins proved that he can be a starting quarterback too in the NFL, and so has Colt McCoy. I don't know if I agree with you, Rhett, necessarily that he's a good quarterback. I wouldn't say Colt McCoy is a good quarterback. I'd say he's a decent quarterback who can be a starter and do something with a team. But I think that the pressure will be there. If RG3 gets cleared and is healthy and Kirk Cousins does not produce, then it'll be RG3's time to shine again. And that will mean that he will be there ready to go and to show what he has again. So that's what we're looking at happening with RG3 going forward. It sounds like Rhett and I are pretty much in agreement. So
yes, sir.
That's a kind of an unexpected thing, but that's kind of it, right? I mean, do you think? I guess I'll ask a follow-up question. Do you think that he will stay healthy? Do you think he can stay healthy based on if he continues to run the football like he does, taking the hits?
No, obviously not. You can't take big hits like that as a quarterback and, stay healthy like that. Now, if he uses his freaking brain and, takes a page out of Andrew Luck's book and gets down, that's when I think that they'll be fine, and it's really going to help out the team that way.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, he's got to get healthy. This concussion is an issue. He won't be cleared until he passes the tests, and this new protocol in the NFL, it is very serious. And takes time. So, last year, though, 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. The year before that, 16 touchdowns, 12 picks. I mean, he's really declined, and injuries have had a lot to do with that. And there's people wondering, will he be the same? I don't know. I hope so. I believe that he will get back to that rookie-type season that he has. But like I said, it will not be without changing his style of play at the quarterback position. So for now, Kirk Cousins will lead this team onto the field week 1. Just a couple weeks away, Rhett. The NFL regular season, we don't have to worry about the preseason anymore that you despise.
Exactly. I'm glad.
Absolutely. We'll be ready to see your Cowboys lose opening night, Sunday Night Football, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, looking forward to it.
You're looking forward to your Cowboys losing. See, now Rhett is getting tired. That's what that means.
Wait, did you say losing?
That's right.
I guess I missed that part. I thought you said
he admits it. He's honest man.
Idiot. No, we're going to take care of the Giants no matter what.
Oh, well.
Take on that Odell Beckham Jr.
I can't wait to see him tear him up. I can't wait to see it. Eli Manning, he'll look like the good Eli Manning this year. That's what I'm predicting. It'll be great, a great rivalry, and we'll get to talk about that and see who's right. But just like that, Rhett, an hour's gone up. And you know what? We went a little over, but that's what happens when we talk sports, and a lot happens in a week.
Exactly.
To recap what was talked about on the show, we discussed the BarClay's tournament, the NBA offseason, the top 5 out of high school NBA players of all time, and RG3's future. That is all that we have for tonight. Thank you for tuning into our show. Feel free to leave feedback, as we want to be able to address comments and questions on the show. Tweet and retweet the show at Kyle M. Newman, at Rhett Hensley, and at Indiana Pacers Talk. We will be back at it next Monday, hopefully. Not going to say by 8 Eastern time. It'll probably be at night again, and you'll get it by Tuesday morning. But nonetheless, it'll come. I'm Kyle Newman.
And I'm Rhett Hensley.
Have a good night, and go sports.